There we go. Hey, Emily. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Long time no see. And what is going on with my computer here? So Bray was up till like 2:30 in the morning trying to work from home. And something was going on major with our Wi-Fi, and we are not sure what it was. But I'm here now. It was not letting me do what I needed to do. So long time no see. So excited to see y'all this morning or this nooning. Is anybody breaking their fast right now? I hope so. Okay, let me get who all's on here. Sarah, Emma, Olivia, Lisa. Hey, I'm gonna go through and kind of mute everyone. It's supposed to like do that automatically, but sometimes it doesn't. Oops. And then when I leave time for questions, if you're comfortable unmuting yourself and asking out loud, you may do so. So anyway, so y'all, oh my gosh, are you kidding me right now? Y'all are doing amazing. Like, I can't even tell you how amazing y'all are doing. I seriously feel like we have the advanced group. Either we're getting dumber and everybody's getting smarter, or I don't know, but it's so great. Okay, so I cannot tell y'all how impressed that I am with y'all. Your excitement and your enthusiasm and just your encouragement to everyone in your group is so refreshing. This faster way to fat loss, what a lot of people don't understand until they jump in it, it is so much more of a community than it is just a program. And so I am so just happy that y'all are experiencing that. So if you're not driving down the road, go ahead. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them into that chat feature down at the bottom. So I'm able to kind of go through those and read those before the end if I can, and I'll save them to the end, just kind of however my eyes can focus. Sometimes it gets a little bit crazy. So we are going to have a fantastic week. We are going to focus on progress, not perfection. And so many of you are doing that already. It is blowing my mind at just how well y'all are doing already. Even where there's a struggle, or you're thinking, oh my goodness, I totally thought I was meeting my macros and I totally wasn't, or I was way off in this area. That is absolutely okay. Last week was not to provide a week of perfection in week one. Last week was to prepare and equip you to work toward this thing and kind of get started. Sorry, I got a little distracted by Lisa's view right there, and I'm thinking, where's all this land that I want to jump into? Okay, so some of y'all are already commenting on how well you are feeling. Maybe you registered a couple weeks ago, and so you've kind of been practicing a lot of these things. And you're telling me about the energy that you're having, the freedom that you are experiencing. And y'all, I just want to let you know that you will literally begin to feel like actual fat and bloat and inflammation and just like swelling melting off of you. You're going to really just not even believe it. So don't get too like worked up on everything that's not going the right way. I really, really, really want you to process and focus on the things you are experiencing and beginning to understand that are going well, because the more you focus on that, the more you will experience a lot of the kind of, hey Nicole, hey Rebecca, y'all, if you find your little, mute yourself and then you can come in later if you have any questions. So anyway, for example, my mother-in-law turned 70 this year. She is diabetic, like she has insulin, all that stuff. And I just went and took Bray J over to her house, which is in my neighborhood, but not for very much longer because she's moving. But anyway, and there was someone there that used to work for her. They were having coffee and whatever. And he was like, so you're the reason that she has lost all this weight? And I was like, I'm not the reason, but I did provide her with the information. And so she is doing well. She's actually in this group and in one of the groups, I should say. And so hopefully she'll be checking in with us soon. But he was very, very impressed with what she was doing. And side note, he's also like a chef. And so I was like, hey, we need to talk about something. Like, what about a meal plan here in the local area where we could like pick these meals up? I'm like, I mean, that's what I would want, but I don't know. That may be ways down the road, but don't y'all think that would be really cool? Anyway, I'm like, maybe he could take the Modern Homemade Meal Plan and just prepare like 50 of them a week. And then we all just go pick them up or hire like a Uber Eats guy to deliver them. I don't know, but I'm just thinking out loud that could really, really be helpful for us in this process. But anyway, y'all do not know how happy it makes me to tell you that you are seriously in the right place at the right time to reach your specific health and nutrition and fitness goals. Not everyone here is here to, lose a bunch of weight. Some people are here just to have energy or to figure out how to eat correctly because they've been in patterns of years and years of patterns of under eating or having unhealthy mindset toward food and toward taking care of their body. So for a lot of us, it's retraining and relearning. For a lot of us, we will lose some weight and some inches in the process. So just kind of like stay in your lane about what you are called to do right now for this purpose in your health. And then like not completely worry about the others, but yet celebrate with the others if y'all can do that. So and I've been where you are, and Emily has been where you are, and anyone that's in their second or third round has been exactly where you are if this is your first round. And there is a tremendous learning curve and this commitment to your health that will enable you to make progress. Literally, of the 300 now people that I've had go through this program, either with me or with another coach before I got started, there's really like 5 to 10 people who did not have results. And there are some reasons for those things. Like some of them just like didn't get started. They were like, oh my gosh, this is just way too much. Or, oh, I didn't want to track my food. Y'all, you're not going to track food for the rest of your life. So this is really, a good 12 weeks of tracking your macronutrients is going to lead to some intuitive eating in the future. So don't feel like, oh, this is supposed to be a lifestyle. Like I can't do this every day for the rest of my life. A lot of it you won't, but you do have to go through the habits and the processes and the procedures to learn this before you can move to that point. And a lot of people that were unsuccessful weren't willing to do that. So don't be one of those people, A. And B, what was the other thing? Oh, just terrible mindset and terrible attitude. So that is something that I really, really, really like to share and hopefully encourage you guys in on this mindset thing. Like our minds can really, and I'm not like woo-woo, like I love Jesus and I'm a Christian and that is like my higher power, if you will. But like, so I don't do like the woo-woo universe stuff. If that's your thing, okay, fabulous. But you won't be hearing that here. But you can really get in the way of your mind if you are believing lies about yourself and about your future and about what you can really do. Like you guys really can do this. And if you've been in this cycle of failure when it comes to taking care of yourself over the years, it's going to be a process to eliminate that. But Emily and I love doing that. So that's our game plan. And we will walk that out with you. Walk it out. Walk it out. Do y'all like that song? It's been like my anthem lately. I know if you're like over 50, you're like, what is she talking about? I'm sorry. Okay. So we are going to hop right in to some tips for success. I want to remind you of the focus. What is the focus? Progress, not perfection. Speaking of, my marketing person that's helping me streamline all these businesses that will launch in a few weeks, she was like, okay, slogans for t-shirts. How do you want to roll this? I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to pick one. So I do have to pick one. It's not progress over perfection, which is kind of what I wanted it to be, but you'll have to stay tuned to see what it is because it's just as good. But I love progress, not perfection. So you don't need to tell me, I just went way Georgia tail. Tell me you're frustrated because like there were sets in the workout you couldn't complete or that you aren't meeting your macros or you just can't figure out how to, get that perfect like checklist of all these, these 3 macronutrients you're trying to meet each day. You will get there. And I don't know, like if people weren't listening to me on that prep week call or like weren't listening to Emily when we said that do not overdo these workouts right now. Y'all, I mean, I wasn't even 40 when I started this program, and I was literally holding onto my bathroom counter or my dresser to do lunges for a while. Okay, so this is not like this 6-week kind of like Whole30, 80 days of insanity or whatever that stuff's called, where you've got to get every single day perfectly or you're not going to have any progress. No, this is just something we are getting a little bit better at each day. So do not blow out your knee, dislocate your hip, like not be able to move your body, because I really want you focusing on eating well and fueling yourself well. And nobody can do that when they're in large amounts of pain. Okay. So you will eventually be able to do these workouts and those finishers, and it may take you 14 weeks, and that is absolutely 100% okay. So, all right. Okay. So this week, for week 1, we are settling into this food cycle. We are learning these new strategies, and it does take a couple weeks to get used to it. But once you do, I can assure you that you will thrive. The program will become effortless, and it will become a lifestyle plan. I know it's so hard to see that right now because you are just inundated with information and it's very, very overwhelming. But just keep in the back of your mind that I told you that. And I promise you that you will be like, oh my gosh, like by about week 3, you're going to be like, this is so much more manageable than I ever thought it would be. So it's really still so weird to me that I live this way on a daily basis. And when I say I live this way on a daily basis, I don't mean I live this way perfectly every single day. I mean, do I, sometimes eat outside my window if we've had a crazy week? Yes. Do I sometimes start the week without being prepared? Yes. This week. Okay. So I'm not doing this perfectly, but it is definitely a baseline for all of us. It's a quick reset. It's a quick jump back in. It's a low carb day, or you know what? Oops. Monday and Tuesday were totally just off my radar, but today's regular macro, that's what I'm going to be doing. So it really just becomes this framework for taking care of ourselves. So, and I really just can't wait for y'all to discover that. It's just, and I said this, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, but I said this in a post this week, and I meant it, that I can see beyond what you see now. And I know that you're going to be successful once you get through the forest of confusion, if that makes sense. So set the expectation for yourself now and just remove that burden from your shoulders to be perfect. It will be an adjustment. Even your body is going to go through an adjustment. As your body transitions from a sugar burner to a fat burner, as you deplete your glycogen stores and as you burn off that glycogen, the process can be a little bit uncomfortable. I know a few of you have mentioned that you've had a few like moments of dizziness or feeling a little bit shaky or kind of feeling a little bit off. That is like less than 2% of the people that I have experienced this process with have any of that. So, but if you have been consuming a lot of processed food or fast foods or sodas or diet drinks or just a lot of that, you probably will experience a little bit more of that than other people. So, don't say, well, I've got to get through the rest of this day on this perfect plan. Like if you are not feeling well, do what you need to do to not feeling well. Like I don't want you to have to go through any type of that major type of detox or feeling terrible. That's not what this is. And so I don't want you to walk through that if you can help yourself. So let's just set the mindset. If you remain positive, you will be successful long term. And here's the deal. I can't believe in you for you. Like I can't believe that this is going to be something that you can do for you. I can just provide the tools, but it is your job to put them into action. So each day we will focus on these small daily non-scale victories. Saying no to the cake that you're used to. I mean, especially for those of you who are in the corporate world. I mean, I know when I was a teacher, it was like every week was some sort of celebration on Friday morning from 7 to 7:30 in the break room. I mean, somebody was getting married or somebody was having a baby or somebody was, I don't know, something. And for A, the food was always there. And B, I was single. And like the last thing I wanted to do, y'all know I don't cook anyway, hardly, is like bring something in for a bunch of people at 7 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, side note, you don't have to always eat what's there. It is okay for you to start saying no in places that you haven't been saying no before. All right. So choosing to exercise when you don't want to. If you are just like, there is no way, like if you just are like, I can't do it today. I mean, I just cannot make myself do this. Just go walk around your house, get outside, do something active to where you can say, you know what? I didn't do that workout, but I did 5 push-ups just because I wanted to say, okay, I did something. So find small victories and find small attainable goals that you can reach. And also taking the time to enter your foods in for the day, logging into our Facebook group, which I'm probably like preaching to the choir because the people not logging into the Facebook group aren't going to watch this video. So, and at the end of the day, be grateful. So whether you regret the fact that you're now week 1 into this program that you still don't understand, now is the right time for you, or you wouldn't be here. So just dig into that feeling of everything having a time and a purpose, because y'all, there is no good time. I was literally not even planning to run another session of the Faster Way to Fat Loss until November. But I've had people reaching out to me. Some of them, y'all are in this group. They're like, oh my gosh, my friend wishes that she had jumped in. It's too late now. Like y'all know, could you imagine jumping in right now? Would you be like, oh? So anyway, but I'm actually going to be running like a little poll. And if you have anyone interested, you may feel free to share my Facebook post that I do later. It's going to have the wait list on there where people can select, like if they want to get in a session before 2018 is over, they can choose to do that. And I think that my original plan is to run a November 26th round. That was like my anniversary. It's right after Thanksgiving. It's the perfect time, but some people want to jump in before then. So I'm considering an October 15th round as long as I have like 10 to 15 people in it. So if you know of anyone that has been like, oh my gosh, I wish I had done it, I will have that information for you to send to them if you want to. So, because at the end of the day, y'all, back to that, everything having a time and a purpose, there is no good time. You know, like we are going to all be facing some sort of celebration, some sort of exciting occasion, a wedding, a trip, or we're going to be facing some sort of hardship. So you're either we're always going to be at some end of the spectrum. And so if you like, I know that when we kind of went through a hardship in the midst of this Faster Way to Fat Loss lifestyle, you know, when your friends know kind of how you're living, for example, this is terrible. Super like, oh my gosh, why am I even sharing this? But I had a girl in the last round, my age, that joined and then had to have a double mastectomy, chemo, all of this kind of stuff. And she was just so bound and determined to do this program. And so, you know, Emily and I were like, we are willing, we will, whoever your care team is, we don't mind to give them kind of the guidelines of what our food cycle looks like so they can bring healthy meals to your family that are kind of keeping you in this process. And she obviously is going to rejoin in a few months because of the surgery and everything. But, you know, so there are things when you're living this way and you have people surrounding you in your community that if you are going through something and they want to bring you a meal, you can just say, hey, you know what, today's my low carb day. And I mean, obviously, you know, don't be like super demanding, but if somebody says, hey, I know you're doing that new plan, what kind of day is it for you today? If I'm going to be making something, I would rather make something that works for you. So just surround yourself by these people that are going to understand kind of how you're living, and it's really okay. So many of you have seen the success story of my friend from college that jumped in. She had a terrible 2017. Like, she's 44 and had to have a hysterectomy, hormones all out of whack. Not to mention that her mom, my friend, lives in Tennessee. She's a high school principal of like so many teenagers that I would be like, no, like I don't even know about that. Anyway, I don't know, 1,200 or so teenagers in Cleveland, Tennessee. Her mom, whom she was very close to, like precious mom, like when we were in college, always sent us cookies and all these fun, just that kind of mom that I thought I was going to be, and I'm apparently not, but whatever. And so anyway, she was diagnosed with gallbladder cancer. So my friend was going, you know, principal, 2 kids in sports, just crazy town like anybody else. Also going back and forth from New York for, you know, treatments and just kind of helping her dad out when she could, et cetera. She jumped into this program and she lost like, I don't even know what she's up to, like 20, 30 pounds or something like that. And so, we can make this program work in spite of what we're doing. If you can just give it a couple of weeks to understand it, it becomes minimal. But here's the deal. If you want to make an excuse, you're going to make an excuse. So that's just kind of the bottom line. I mean, I was making excuses for years and years and years, but if you're tired of making excuses and you're ready for something to work, this is the perfect plan and this is the perfect time. So anyway, so I know that through this program and just some of the recovery tools that I have walked through and healing, that I have learned the tools to put in place mentally to allow for this program to work. And that is something that I love sharing with you. I can't go into too much of it just with the way the program works because there's just not a lot of time for it and you're already overwhelmed. But that is part of the bigger plan and vision that I have for what God is calling me to, that I will begin implementing at some point. So that's just like a side note. But anyway, if y'all remember from the housekeeping items from last call, if you don't hear back from me or Emily, it's because Facebook is crazy. For example, this morning, it's so weird. Like I'll go to respond to something and then like it's not showing up. And then somebody else said to me, hey, I didn't mean to post that twice. So really and truly, you are not being neglected. You are not being excluded. If you do not hear something back, like I said, within 24 hours, which is still a bit long, just go back through and tag Emily or me and we will get back with you. It is literally like your eyes start crossing when you're kind of going through doing some of that. So, all right, some more tips for success. And many of you are already implementing them. And so that is great. Enter your food into MyFitnessPal the morning before, the night before if you can. Like I said, I'm kind of trying to do it on Sundays right before I make my grocery list, even if it's just Monday through Thursday. Pre-planning these macronutrients is going to be really, really important. Start with your protein. So if you know, okay, for tonight for dinner, we're going to be having, pork loin, whatever, or turkey burgers. Go ahead and start with that. Then fill in those vegetables. If you want to add in that muffin we talk about, that's the perfect time to do that. Whatever your little treat might be. I have been known to plug in 3 Little Dove promises around the Valentine's Day. So whatever it might be, like kind of get some of, I'm totally not saying to do that every day. I'm just saying that go ahead and kind of program in some things that you know are going to happen. If there's a protein shake that you drink each day or whatever those kind of things are, do that and then kind of build around it. If you just wait until the last minute, it's going to be like struggle bus in the city for sure. So moving forward, your low carb days are going to become effortless. You're going to be like, okay, I'm going to break my fast around noon. I'm going to have this big salad with a lot of protein, a lot of good fat. Then I'm going to have this handful of almonds, or I'm going to have this protein smoothie. Whatever it is, it will become effortless on how to track these things and how to do these low carb days. Just a side note, they are in the process of making our own app. Don't know when it's going to be available. Like it may not even be in our lifetime. Just kidding. It should. But, just because it would be so much easier to, program things all in for like every Monday, the things you're going to have. So we're looking at, or not we, but they are looking into a lot of that stuff. But in the meantime, these are just kind of some things that I've been doing for 10 months that have helped. So the more food that you add into MyFitnessPal, the closer you will get to your macro goals. Counterintuitive for all of us, I know, but that is what we are learning. So what happens is adding in one meal and being like, oh my gosh, Amberly, like my percentages are way off, or look how low this is. Well, yeah, it's going to show that way for that meal. Like maybe you were way high in your protein for that meal and really, really low on your fat for that meal. Maybe it wasn't that 50%, 30%, 20% macro split. But the more you start adding in your whole day, it's going to help with understanding the bigger picture. So that's going to be totally good. If you're having any trouble, and I saw some things come through here I'm about to answer about some trouble, continue to let us know. However we can help, we will. Some things are out of my control. But continue to go back to that comprehensive guide. Y'all, I read that thing over and over. Even throughout my second round, I'd be like, okay, let me read this again. And you just kind of keep gaining more and more knowledge and information about everything. I mean, there are some really great tips and suggestions and ideas for our meals each day in there. They have the approved foods list, and then like which ones are going to be higher in carbs, what's higher in fat, what is higher in protein, kind of if you're needing some ideas. Also, I'm going to try to share my screen with y'all in a minute and show you some people were having a hard time finding those tabs in the Facebook group. It's going to look different if you're on your phone, but you may get and my phone is not going to show you very well. So I'll show you that in just a minute. If I forget, somebody remind me. Because like I've said over and over, your brain really only has the capacity to absorb so much new information, especially since we're like not 14 anymore. So if you didn't watch the prep week video, but you're at least catching this replay or watching it now, I'm really proud of you, but I definitely want you to go back and watch the prep week call. It's going to just help you. I say that. Basically, I'm just blabbing for an hour and a half, but it might be a little bit helpful. I don't know. And as you know, we don't provide that meal plan through the Faster Way to Fat Loss. I can't, because I am not a certified nutritionist. So I could like get locked up, and then you're going to have to all jump in and raise my kids, and nobody really wants to do that. So what we do is we equip and empower you to find what works for your family. Find what you enjoy and figure out, how can I make this fit my macros, or what do I need to do to make this a little bit healthier option? Or maybe we kind of talked about that a little bit on the first call. And as you remember in the MyFitnessPal training video, which has been redone, I heard, so I need to redo that. But anyway, when you look at your percentage breakdown on these low carb days, your fats are going to be like out of control, like way red. Okay. And it's going to be over. And then you may notice and think, oh my gosh, I'm not meeting my calories. I'm not meeting my calories. That is okay. Remember, if we are focusing on whole foods, these foods that come from the ground, have a mother, we are on the right track. Okay. So being gluten-free and being healthy doesn't mean just going totally down the grocery store aisle and just getting all this like gluten-free stuff because it says gluten-free. We are focusing on whole foods, fresh foods. Yes, we do have some great options. Like I have those Banza chickpea noodles that we can use sometimes. And of course I love my muffins, which are out. And then my friend that's a fashion blogger in the local area just announced it in her Insta stories. And I'm like, stop. I'm going to start saying they're terrible. Y'all should never eat those things. They're disgusting. I mean, Jana, who's in this group, is in Arizona, and they're out there. This is terrible. This is like so bad. Anyway, and then we're going to have 50 net carbs of whole food nutrition on these days. Higher fats, higher fats. Y'all are seriously an advanced group, because I know Emily and I, in a couple other rounds, like all around, for a lot of people, we kept saying, no, you like want to double your fat. And I know we're all scared of everything. We're scared of fat and we're scared of carbs, and everybody's loading up on protein. Side note, and I don't want to freak everybody out, but your extra protein your body doesn't need can turn to glucose too. So focus on what you're supposed to focus on, which is that right balance of carbs, fats, and protein. And so just remember, the 50 calories or less is not going to break your fast in the morning. The bone broth, the kombucha, whatever it was. Side note again, my sweet friend that was in my last round, I don't know how this happened, but she thought when she broke her fast, it was supposed to be 50 calories, like on the nose. No. You break your fast however you like need to, that keeps balanced portion of carbs, fats, and proteins. It doesn't need to be just the 50 calories. It's just that once you have 50 calories, you've broken your fast. So I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I failed. Where did I fail you? How did that happen? But anyway, I hope you guys hear that. Let's see. Okay, let me go down here and ask some questions, or not ask some questions. Woo, 22. Let's see. All right. Okay. One reason why my friends, Sarah said that one reason why her friends have a hard time doing stuff like this, and she's down for helping make that possible. I don't know what I said when you said that, but I'm glad you said that. Yay. Debbie has a Clean Eats here in Greenville, and you can plan your own meals. They will fix them and you pick them up. Oh, wow. That sounds amazing. Okay. Still have no clue how to post my nutrient intake without being sure it does not go to my regular Facebook page. Okay. That is a great question. Let me, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right here. Like I said, it's going to look a little bit different because I'm on the computer, not the phone, but, all right. Let's see here. Okay. So what we're going to do is somebody give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen now. Can we see my screen? Okay, you can see my screen. Perfect. Okay. So what you'll do, guys, is like I said, it's going to look different on your phone, but so today is Tuesday. So before you go into the Facebook page of your group, you're going to want to pull up your MyFitnessPal on your phone. Some people have done it from an iPad or from their computer. I can't even help you with that. So don't think I'm the technology expert. I can only tell you what I know. So if you go to MyFitnessPal and you scroll over to your nutrient tab, like we've talked about, that's the one that's going to give you the best overall picture of what everything looks like for your day. I was going to try to show it on my phone, but we know that doesn't work. So you have your nutrient tab. If you know how to take a screenshot, you just push your bottom middle button and your side button on the right, and you just squeeze them both at the same time, and that will make a screenshot. So then what happens is you go down here to this, and you say for, what's today? Okay, low carb day. So you're going to say your net carbs are 49. Yay! And then you're going to come over here where there's this little picture or icon of a camera. So you will press this camera. And obviously this is bringing up the photos on my phone, and none of us want to watch phonics right now. So anyway, so you will pull up that little camera icon, but on your phone, it's going to go to your photos. And from there, if you just took that screenshot, that's probably going to be your last photo. And so you will just hit that camera button, it'll insert it, and then you just hit enter right here on your comment, the same way you leave a regular comment. So hopefully that will help. There was one more thing I was going to show y'all while I was sharing my screen. Oh, okay, the tabs while we're here. So if you're on your laptop and you go, or not, whatever you're on, iPad, I don't know. What in the world? Oh my gosh. Okay. I can't even see it. What's happening? Okay, here we go. I know my young friend Nicole's just slide it over. Okay, so you're going to go, we're here in this group. You're going to go to this section right here that says files. And down here in the files are some frequently asked questions in that macro planning chart. Oh no, did I not even post the things for low carb days? So these are where all your frequently asked questions are. What takes me out of my fasted state? What can I have during my fasted window? What are some safe sugar substitutes? I should add right now that monk fruit. I haven't even tried it. I messed up and I'm lacking a fair amount of carbs. What are some ways to get them in? Okay. This is kind of an overview of the carb cycling days. This talks about when everybody's asking the question about the calorie situation. Okay, I did not post that, y'all. I'm so sorry. Okay, I need to, Emily, if you want to text me a reminder to go through and post, there's that chart I have of, am I unsharing now? Okay. The chart I have of different ideas of foods, just kind of a few little helpful things. Okay, so we answered that. Yes, Debbie, okay, Emily answered that. Okay, ooh, the power of words, and it talks about that and how to break those chains. Love that. Okay, Kelly, that is great you were eating during that call. As long as you're not going potty, it's happened. Then that's good. So Nicole says, does anyone know how this program works with people with Hashimoto's and hyperthyroidism and high stress people? Your mom is interested, but nothing has been working for her because of those issues. So yes, Nicole, I mentioned this in the prep week call that a girl that I was on our VIP training with in April of this year. Yes, she is a coach and she has Hashimoto's. And and she was gluten-free, dairy-free, everything for like a decade, because that's what they said was the best, that's kind of protocol. Everything. I mean, she was stable, but nothing, she couldn't budge her fluff, if you will. And so she started this program, and now like her thyroid medication is cut in half. She's living a completely different lifestyle. And that's why she went into coaching, because she's passionate about this program and how it works. There are some modifications that we make depending on how well the thyroid is controlled with medication. Kind of take it as an individual basis. For example, they may not start out with a 16-hour fast. Same goes for adrenal fatigue. They may have their low carb days more closer to like 75 or 100, maybe not focusing on those HIIT workouts. But over time, it is with the research, and by research I mean just kind of what's happening in this program, is renewing and rebuilding the thyroid because of what's happening with our insulin resistance. It's all kind of centered around that. And it's just rebuilding our hormones. So it may not be this like 6-week life transformation, because it will sometimes take people a little bit longer because they've been dealing with that for so long. But to answer your question, yes, this is the perfect lifestyle and plan for people with hypothyroidism and adrenal fatigue, Hashimoto's. I also have a younger cousin who doesn't have a thyroid because she had cancer at 18. And so she's in my VIP group because this is the only thing that is helping keep her medications and everything lower. So it's just one of those things that it does kind of take a little extra time and a little extra working with your doctor and just kind of seeing how you feel and whatnot. Oh, okay. Sarah says, I have Hashimoto's. So did both your parents. After watching your mom's track, you did lots of research, and this program seems to be the most aligning with thyroid issues. Yay! Keeps Hershey Kisses in the drawer on Tuesdays. Okay. So you plan your meals in advance, send the screenshots before you actually eat them. No, that's really, the pre-planning is really just for you, just to kind of see where you're at for the day so you don't find yourself in a pinch and trying to add things and you can't figure out what works. Because what happens is, I'll kind of plan things out, but then, maybe Gomo calls and we decide to go to dinner, or I am too tired. And so I say, no, I'm not making this. I'm feeding the kids oatmeal for dinner or grits. You get a choice, people, oatmeal or grits. And then I'm going to just have like some deli meat with some mustard and lettuce and, just kind of find some things to piece together because I'm tired. So go ahead and start out with a plan. And then as you have to deviate from it, it's a little bit easier to deviate with some bones, if you will, than it is just to kind of figure it all out on the go. And that's coming from like my first round experience. I wasn't doing that, even though they kept telling me to. So I'm just kind of telling you what's going to be more helpful. Hadn't thought about sharing that. Okay, Hashimoto's. I'm going to try it out. I hope you find success. And going to kind of recommend it for thyroid issues. Yes. Kelly says she's terrible in advanced planning and going to have to figure this out. I live by flying by the seat of my pants. Okay, you know who you need to talk to is your friend Darlene, because she has raised 5 children without ever having a meal plan. That is, even when I wasn't like planning for myself, I was planning like at least what they were going to eat, even if it wasn't even really that good. I had to have something in my mind, or else I would be like, that's how we ended up in the drive-thru so much. And what's so funny is she's 50 something, early 50s. And she's like, for the first time I am planning. And she was like always resistant to planning. And she is like loving it because she says she just is like, oh my gosh, this is really not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So, or maybe you know what, but start small. Maybe you're like, I'm only going to plan my dinners now, or I'm only going to plan my snacks. And if you need to keep them the same, do that. Okay. Oh, the monk fruit is not Emily's favorite. Okay. She won't listen to me because I'm her child. That is so funny. Oh my word. Okay. So, I'm going to go back to our call. And then if you guys are thinking of any more questions, I will say, Elaine, I'm glad to see that your fuel tank is in the right range there. Nobody's running out of gas today. Okay. Well, yeah, we should not, like figuratively and literally, right? All right. So as you guys are seeing that learning macros, this is for all my calorie restrictors, my Weight Watchers, my Jenny Craigers, my I only eat 1,200 calories a dayers. Here's what you need to know is that learning macros and figuring out your fats and your proteins and your carbs for each day is definitely more difficult than counting calories or counting points. All right. But that is how you educate yourself. That is how you retrain your body. That is how you retrain your mind. And we've all counted calories. Okay. I'm not like, if you point a finger at one person, you've got like what, 4 pointing back at you. So I'm definitely not like guilting you. I'm just saying we're not doing that anymore. All right. Like that's not what we're doing in here. Like you may talk to me about carbs. You may talk to me about fats. You may talk to me about proteins. You may not talk to me about calories unless I'm messaging on the side and I'm like, sister, we got to start eating a little more food because you're coming in really low. I want to see what your calories are because your macros are low. That's kind of what I'll do there. And here's the deal with the calorie deficit thing. The restricting of the calories and the burning of the calories and all of that, none of that creates lasting results unless A, you're just miserable with yourself because everything is just so hard, and B, it doesn't create lasting results or you wouldn't be here. Like you've tried that. So let's kind of reframe your mind now into what this program actually is, and let's focus on that so that you create a healthy lifestyle for yourself. Your macros were set up per that MyFitnessPal video to choose either 0.5 or 1 pound as your weight loss goal, and you will meet that following the plan. And it's possible you won't start to see or feel any results until about week 4 or beyond. So some people may start experiencing that a little bit sooner, but don't think you're like in Failureville if you're not, because sometimes it really does take a little bit of time, especially if your metabolism has been destroyed by quick fixes, restrictions, keto, all of that stuff. It's going to take a little bit of time. Some people will take 6 to notice a change. Some people are going to take 8 to 12 weeks, but we're not focusing on that right now. Today we're only focusing on getting in the right macronutrients. All right. This video will be in our page if you didn't make this. Remember, and I love somebody's like, oh my gosh, yes, the best time to work out is when I can work out. I don't know if this is in my frequently asked questions, but I get this question a lot where people say, oh my gosh, if I work out fasted, am I destroying my muscle because there's no fuel there? You are not. Your body, and that is what has made this program just like this elite virtual program, is because Amanda Tress has figured out the system. And I'm sure there's some other people out there too. I don't know. I don't think like she's the only person thinking this way, but this is definitely the next thing in fitness and health and nutrition, because people are realizing that when you're fueling your body with the correct amount of macronutrients, you are actually fueling your workout through fat, not protein. So that's that. And like I said, whatever is practical and possible when it comes to your workouts or any of this really, what is the story? What is going on in your life? What is possible for you to do right now with putting in some intention and some effort and some degree of will into what you're doing. Like you can't just like sit back and like let this happen and then complain to me that nothing happened. Like you've got to be intentional, but I also don't want you to think that you have to be perfecting everything. The first 6 weeks of this is the nutrition. All right. Focus on that if you can't focus on anything else. The workouts are the bonus. The workouts help us dial in the results because we're able to develop this lean calorie burning muscle that is burning that fat when we're not working out. That's the point of this. All right. The first 6 weeks, focus on the nutrition. But if you're coming to this after months and months of not working out, did I say that right? Do the beginner workouts, as I've said. Consider what you can accomplish. Cut that in half. don't feel like, well, I'm not even like doing a lunge if I don't get that knee all the way down. I definitely don't want you to injure yourself, but if right now all you can do is hold on to the counter and just kind of go through the motion a little bit, like a little dip, then that is okay right now. So we are not training, I'm not at least, training for any bikini competition or Olympic race right now, or ever. That's just not what I'm doing. So, but I do want to take care of myself, and I do want to have energy, and I do want to be healthy for my family. So let that be your focus instead of, just kind of obsessing over oh my gosh, I've never looked good in this. I do want you to look good and I want you to feel good about yourself, but I don't want you to beat yourself up over your trouble areas. Like I said, I'm raising 5 kids. I'm homeschooling 5 kids, and I have the dog Dixie, and I have Bray, if you know Bray. Okay. So I'm running full-time fitness accountability groups. I am in the process of developing website, branding, marketing, a whole entire new thing. And I'm like a part-time Uber driver on the side. Not really, but that's just for my kids. So I just don't have the time or the bandwidth to put a lot of thought into a lot of other things. So if I can make this program work and it's manageable and I can do it on the fly, I promise you that you can too. You have plenty of time to get stronger, to get faster, to get leaner, to get more athletic, to understand macronutrients a little better, to get better at understanding this program, to get better at pre-planning, all of it. You've got time to do that. Do not be anxious about getting there at a certain time. Just make progress toward your goal. That is the goal. The goal isn't the goal. Progress toward the goal is the goal. So take that pressure off, especially if this is your first round. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So let me see what we got over here in the chat feature. I've worked in, okay. Emily says it took her more like 8 to 10 weeks. Nicole says, I've worked in fitness for 4 years and could not agree more. I've never worked out with food in my system ever. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Apparently I did not bookmark our group page. I keep getting other pages from the site. Oh my gosh. I have no idea. Okay. Let me see, Debbie. I think that, Emily, I don't know if you can log into, or if you have Facebook open, but maybe Debbie is in group B. So maybe if you just want to tag her in today's post, maybe, that will kind of get you back in action. Okay. Yep, B. Okay, cool. Uh-oh, I lost something. Okay. So now I'm about to mention something to y'all that I do not mention until week 3. And there's a reason for doing so, because this is side byproduct of this program. I do not really talk about this because this is not really what I do, but at the same time I do this, and I want to offer this to you. So I have an affiliate partnership. I believe that my business and this program and the success of getting this program into the lives and the homes and the families of as many women and men as possible, that is my passion. I don't believe in keeping all the money for myself. I love to give. I enjoy being generous. So when someone, and not everybody does, not all the coaches do this, it's just kind of what I want to do. But when someone, if you say, oh my gosh, if Sarah's oh my gosh, my friend Crystal totally wants to do this program, I've been telling her about it. If Crystal signs up for this program, I literally pay you $75 cash just as a thank you. That is just something that I feel is going to help other people bring in extra income for their family if they so choose. And it's just fun for me to be able to give back. So I'm telling y'all that now in week 1, because if I do end up starting this October 15th group, I'm not going to do a lot of promoting. I'm not going to do a lot of advertising. But if you have someone that you want them to jump in and they don't want to wait until after Thanksgiving, you have the opportunity to do that. And so I needed to tell you that now instead of in a post or whatnot. If you are interested in doing that, if you are oh my gosh, I just tell somebody about it and they decide to do it and then you pay me $75. Yes, I do. Literally yesterday, I have close to 100 affiliates, probably maybe 75. I paid other people yesterday from PayPal, like it's not like, anything cuckoo. I paid out $3,000 yesterday. One person earned $1,000 like this month by sharing something that's changed their life. It is not a multi-level marketing. It is not a, like, you have to do a round for the rest of your life. You have to be in every session to ever have this deal. No, this is just like this is, I have a friend who doesn't do the program just because she's like, I ain't got time for that. But like, she loves it and she supports me and she thinks it's great. So if she has a friend that needs it, I'll still pay her $75. It's literally like you go to Kaufman Tire and you get your tires rotated and they say, hey, we appreciate your business. Here's a $25 off your next thing. It's literally just something like that. And I hesitate to say it because I'm just so like gooped out by all of that we've all been burned by for so long. So I don't want that to be what this is about, because it's not. But if you're like, oh my gosh, Amberly, like I have, 3 kids in college, I can totally use an extra $1,000 in my pocket each month to send them to pay for their meal plan. Like whatever it is that you need, this is a really great opportunity if it's something you enjoy sharing about. If you are interested in that, I need to add you to my affiliate group, and I can create a little link for you, which basically takes people to the website where they learn about it and they can read all the questions and whatnot. And then when they register, it will come through under you. But I say, let me know every time you have someone interested, because sometimes it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So anyway, so that's that. If you are interested in that, then, okay, wait, did I miss anything in our little chat? No, I didn't. But if you are interested in that, definitely let me know. And I found that is what has been, or especially in the beginning, like before I became a coach, I made $3,000 just in sharing the program with other people. So, and it was fun because they're asking me questions. So it's like, I've got this group. I had my group over here at Facebook, but then I had my friends that were also doing it. And then we like timed it to where we could do another round together and everything. So let's see. Are there any more questions? I'm kind of looking through my notes, and I'm kind of done with that. So if there are any more questions that y'all may have, then, okay, let me see. Sarah's dog is running loose in the neighborhood. Oh gosh. Okay. See you later. I hope you get her. She said that her dog's running all over the neighborhood and all the people are talking about it. That happens to me too with Dixie. So anyway, okay. So ladies, I am really and truly so proud of y'all. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to like cut this down to below an hour today. But if you do have a question, just unmute yourself and feel free to ask a question or a comment or anything. I definitely enjoy involving y'all a little more in these calls if you are able. And if you're not on this call, be sure any comments or questions that you have, feel free to ask those in our daily thread or underneath this YouTube replay video. So anyone?
I have a question. Can you hear
Emma,
me?
You're like, it like clicked you on. I don't know why. Oh,
can you hear
okay.
me?
I hear you. Wait, hang on. Wait. Okay, I can hear you now. I can.
Hi.
Hi.
So my only drug of choice is Crystal Light Energy. I don't drink coffee. I mean, I can drink tea. And so the package has 5 calories per serving. It's fake sugar. Is it super bad?
Do you know what, I mean, is it just like, I mean, what?
It's like a little drink package with vitamin D and caffeine in it. And I have one a day. It's the only.
Yeah. I would definitely take a screenshot of the ingredients list and send it to me. If it's less than 5 calories, technically it's not going to break your fast. But here's what I tell everybody, especially these first 6 weeks. You are focusing on so much. I don't want you to be overwhelmed with trying to eliminate everything, because that's not going to make you very successful. So if there are probably some type of sweeteners in, there's a dog. There are probably some type of sweeteners in there, or whatever it's sweetened with. that a lot of nutritionists and everybody are going to say, oh, well, that's going to trigger your insulin response. And just having that insulin response triggered is going to take you out of your fasting period. That is possible, but that is not something we need to worry about just yet. I just really want you focusing on staying under the 50 calories. 3 or 4 weeks from now, as you are gaining energy, you're gaining momentum, and you're like, you know what? I think I'm ready to kind of start looking at a way to replace that. Maybe we do that then, but don't overwhelm yourself with that now. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, I shared about my coffee ritual. So, years ago, I was like, International House Delight or whatever that is. I mean, I'm talking like a little bit of coffee with my creamer, French vanilla, pumpkin spice, like caramel brulee, whatever they all were. Like, that was my thing. I mean, I'm talking, I looked forward to that every morning more than I did just like life. It was probably bad. So, and then as I started kind of my health journey last August, I actually switched over to those Natural Bliss ones that are just kind of, I don't even know really what all's in them, but I switched over to Natural Bliss. Then when I started the Faster Way to Fat Loss, I started using the ones that, I think it's the same company, brand, whatever. And then I started using the ones that were made from almond milk or coconut milk. So I did that probably through March or April. And like now I will just do a little bit of like sweet leaf sweetener, like a sprinkle of cinnamon. Who knew that could be so like good. And then just like a splash of almond milk. So it definitely happens in phases. So unless you are having something that is just totally outrageous and taking you out of your fast, I think for now it's okay just to kind of transition, just doing the best you can. So that's a great question though. Yay. So anybody else have a question? There's like a little bit of a delay. So sometimes I'm like, okay, bye. And then somebody's like, oh, I had a question. So it like highlights on my screen in green when somebody has a question. So I'm just kind of looking through that. All right. So I am so proud of y'all. Keep on keeping on. We will not have another call like this until week 3. So we will be and I'm kind of playing around with some things to do a little bit differently. I need to get with my assistant, Emily, and see kind of if we have some ideas. What happened was used to, my groups were, between 30 to 40. And so we were all just in one Facebook group. And I would actually just do these calls live in the Facebook group. Well, then when my round that was like over 60 people, I'm like, that is just too many people to have in one group. So we split those 2 groups, and then I had to start using the Zoom, which is what we do all of our coach training calls and a lot of other, like when I do consults or whatever, I'll do this. It's a really good, video conference, I guess is what I was trying to say. So that's what I use for that. But then I got to thinking, technically I could still have everybody in their small groups, in these smaller groups of between 20 and 25, which I really, really like. And then I could have one big Facebook group of everyone and kind of do the live calls there. Or if I'm just kind of in my kitchen and I want to tell y'all something, I can just kind of go live on that video there. But I don't know, because as y'all have probably experienced by like week 1, you're probably like, oh yeah, that would be a great idea. But prep week, or when you get that email, if I'm like, now this is your big group and this is your small group, and I just feel like it would be a little really way too overwhelming for people, especially when technology can be a challenge for people too. So those are definitely some thoughts I'm playing around with. I always love feedback, especially constructive criticism. I don't like negative criticism. I just don't think it's healthy. So anytime you have an idea, definitely let me know that. And I will be giving you guys my new email address shortly for that. I will have different people that you reach out to for different things, like when there's a registration issue, or if you become an affiliate and you are people are registering for the program, or I'm actually bringing someone on my team that has an undergraduate in nutrition. There's a lot of questions I can't answer, guys, because I was in a very, very unhealthy extreme when my kids were younger. What is that? And I was really, really obsessed with perfecting our health, and I was spending lots and lots of money on homeopathic naturopathic, all of these things. And at the end of the day, my son and I both still almost died. At the end of the day, you know, I had a lot of sickness just going on in our home, no matter what all I was rubbing on everybody and what all I was, you know, ingesting and inserting and all of these things. So I have, for many years, I steered away from any type of supplement, any type of product. And that's why I love this program so much, is because you don't need any of that. There are no shakes, there are no wraps, there are no pills, there are no nothing. But I did get to the point for me where I'm like, okay, now that I have like cleaned my system up, I'm okay with adding in some supplements or kind of enhancing that. I just don't want to turn to any of that and think it's the answer, or think it's going to provide this quick fix, or it's going to do everything for me, because I don't believe we're going to experience whole health here on this earth. So what can I do now just to be taking care of myself with the way that I'm eating? So that is kind of that's kind of my mindset and why I love this program. But I do have people reach out to me and say, okay, well, what kind of protein do you recommend, or protein powder, or what kind of hydration supplement should I use? I really like these, you know, workout drinks, or I really do like this and I really do like that. So I have actually brought someone that I trust, a friend who is an expert in what she does. She has experience both in nutrition as her degree, as well as she and her family have gone through a really life-changing healing process through a particular supplement and through a particular product. And so, but I can't answer all those questions, because I'll be honest, I don't really care. Okay. Like, I don't really care to do a bunch of research anymore, because I wasted many, many years of my life doing research and obsessing over all of these things. So I am like, for me and my little women and my groups, I want to provide you guys with the best experience and take out all the research for you. Like, if you're just tired of thinking and you're like, can you just tell me what works? Can you just tell me? Like, I have narrowed it down, and I will have some of that in the months to come. So anyway, now I really am officially finished talking to y'all. So I hope that y'all have a super, super great Tuesday. I feel like Easter when it's Wednesday every week, because I'm like, tomorrow's coming. So tomorrow is your carb day. So it's going to be really fun to see how you guys load up. And then for the past 2 days, everybody's been like, oh my gosh, I can't get all this fat in. La, la. And tomorrow you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is too many carbohydrates. I don't eat this many carbs. So it's going to be really, really fun watching y'all over the next couple weeks. And the next time I get on, which will be week 3, we are going to talk about, you just thought you were overwhelmed? Wait till we do the 24-hour fast. Okay. So anyway, I got a little few like headlight deer eye things just now, but that's okay. It's going to be really fun. So have a great Tuesday. I'm so proud of y'all. You are doing great. Keep the questions coming. Keep the engagement coming. Keep reaching out. You are going to be successful. Y'all are going to be the most successful group yet. I just know it. You're the advanced version. I feel like I'm in the, I won't lie. I will tell you the truth. Sometimes I'm like, that was like my EIP group, because I was a teacher, you know, so like I had my EIP group I would work with, and then I had my gifted, and I think you guys are gifted. So I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.